Hi everyone, I want to do a video today about why I love working in IT. Now before I start, what you need to know is I am not every IT person. Every IT job is different, and so there are some things in this that don't apply to other IT jobs. And beyond that, I am working in one place and I have only worked in a few places in my career, so I'm sure there are worse places to work than where I work. Let's get going. So what is my job? My job is an IT developer. Now, you're not going to find any job titles labeled that, and honestly, I may have just made the term up. It might be my own thing, but the thing is that you can be a software developer for an IT department, and there are lots of jobs that you can use Java or C# or ServiceNow for. ServiceNow is more for IT as a development platform, but most things that you'll see that could be IT development jobs actually can be used at different levels of software development. So for instance, if you're a Java developer, you could be working on a product at a company that is that company's product, and that would really not make you an IT developer. But if you're doing what I'm doing, where I make intercompany applications, then that would make you an IT developer. So there are certain platforms like ServiceNow, Asana, things out there that you can do development in, but that will mostly be guaranteed to be IT development, where some of these other things like .NET, they could be IT or they could not be. And generally the job application will sort of, tell you if that's the case or not. But sorry, if you're looking for my job, it's not the easiest thing to find online. Now, why do I like doing this? Well, the first thing is the technical aspect. I love programming, and I learned that when I went to college. But beyond loving programming, I love solving computer problems, and problems in general, but especially computer problems. So I like when I find an issue and I find a way to fix it, or just do something that needs to be done, and then find a way to make a program do it. That is so much fun to me. You can build big things in programming, and as an IT developer, you won't have as much help to do it, which means you get to take a bigger role and you have more control over how it's done and how it looks in the end. And I really like that because one thing I do know I'm good at is knowing good software. So there's software that's bad and software that's good, is the way I like to put it, and I can put my eye on software and know what's good and bad. Now, making good software is a lot harder than recognizing it, which makes it challenging, which I like. So I love the problem-solving aspect. I love the programming part. I get to program most of my day. It is the work that I do when it comes down to it. It is the thing I deliver is that program. And the neat thing is I'm not just doing it for some nameless mass of people out there that I'll never get to talk to. The next thing I really love about my job is the people. So yes, I know this is something that a lot of people feel like they want to avoid if they're going into a technical role, is people, but I am kind of a people person, and I love the opportunity I get to meet these different people within the organization that are doing different things, and they're all very different types of people. And getting to know them, making friends with them, and writing programs for them. So I get to see what their problems are and what their needs are and make something that they can work with. And that makes my work important to me, because when I write a program, it's actually going to be used by somebody that I might run into in the hallway. I can't just, soullessly write a bunch of code. I have to think about, how is this going to help this person? Is this person going to be happy with it? Because if they're happy with the program I write, then they're going to be happy with me. And if they're not happy with it, well, then they're not going to be happy with me. And I'm sort of there for them. I'm writing a program for their job so that they can accomplish their task, which means I also get to be part of a lot of things. But it's mostly the diversity that really gets me. To get to know a lot of different people and listen to them and just see the diversity that there is in this world is just so cool to me. And being this person that has the skill where I get to kind of go on these little adventures, meet these new people, and accomplish these new things is sort of cool. I mean, that's sort of what I would consider a cool life. So I really like the different people in IT. I know that's something that a lot of people might actually not want to do, but it's something that I love to do because I like people, I find people interesting, I like making friends with people, and I like having experiences with people. So that is probably the thing that really pulls my job together. Okay, let's be honest. One of the big reasons I love my job is because I get paid well. Now, I have worked minimum wage jobs. I know how much it sucks to not get paid well, to not get paid well enough to live. It's horrible. And the thing is, you get paid well in IT, especially if you have the right skills. Because IT is a very skill-based profession, having certain skills means you get paid well. Because there's a lot of people that need those skills, and people have to fight to get those people. So the pay goes up. It's basic supply and demand. But the point is that you might think of IT as something where you don't maybe get paid as well as engineering or some other fields like, medical science, stuff like that. But you get paid well in IT. It's hard to really, sit here and compare apples to oranges, but the thing is, depending on what skills you have in IT, you may get paid very, very handsomely. Now, to think about it just from a pay standpoint is not a good idea. You also get benefits. You get the full spectrum of, dental, health insurance, you get a 401k, and that's not in all organizations, but in most. You get one of those cushy jobs where you have benefits and a high salary, and it makes your life easier. I'd be lying if that, if I said that weren't part of why I love my job. And, it makes me feel valuable with what I'm doing. If I was getting paid minimum wage to write these programs, I would not really feel like I was doing that much. But the fact that I do get paid well, beyond allowing me to live a comfortable lifestyle, lets me know that I am valuable and my work is important. So yeah, getting paid well is one of the things. But the next thing is kind of the diversity of experiences that I have. Now, you may have heard the term jack of all trades when it comes to people that work in IT. And I would say it's true. I started out just doing ServiceNow work, but that already entails some knowledge with networking and databases and, of course, programming. But if you go further than that, sometimes when you're in an IT department, you just get asked to do things that aren't even in your job description. Like recently I was going around, marching around where I work and installing things on computers. And I'm doing things in different programming languages than just like JavaScript and ServiceNow, and it looks like I'm going to be doing more and more diverse things. Now, they always say, jack of all trades, master of none. Well, I say jack of all trades, master of none, but pretty good at some. And that kind of feels good. I like the ability and opportunity to learn new things, new skills, because careers get boring to people sometimes because they're just doing the same exact thing day in and day out. I can say even from programming, if you're doing it in a single language, you will eventually get bored of that, 10, 15 years in. And so a lot of people, they kind of have to do a career change at that point. For me, I don't feel like I really have to do that because I started working with ServiceNow, but now I'm actually on a project where I'm doing stuff in C#, and all of a sudden things are new and exciting again. And it just gives me this opportunity that some people see as, hey, we need somebody for this, please help us. I see it as, I get to learn something new and cool. I get to learn about new types of systems, like access control. That doesn't sound exciting, but it's actually pretty cool from an engineering standpoint when you look into how it works. There's a lot that's entailed in that. And of course, with IT always comes security. Even if you don't specialize in security, you have to spend time in security. And security is something that should always be on your mind. And when it comes to exciting experiences or exciting things happening in the world, cybersecurity is one of those places to be. I don't care what anyone says, cybersecurity is just darn interesting. It's something that I have to keep in mind every day where I work, and I can do little sort of case studies on what went wrong in other places. And it's just fun to be a part of that environment and just be part of the community in general. Doing something like this, you just sort of naturally become part of the wider tech community. And a lot of people do that in different ways, but the truth is, if you're working in IT, all of a sudden you have a more broad understanding of a lot of different types of technologies. And you may have some you are very strong at that you can actually lend some expertise to. So on the lower end, things you've just done a little, you can understand. On the higher end, you can actually give advice. And I love the tech community. I think a lot of people start when they go, to do a tech degree, whether that be computer science, information technology like I did, or whatever it is you're doing, you may be introduced to this tech community where you talk about things like database systems, programming languages, frameworks, and cybersecurity incidents. All of these things are just really fun topics, and I love to go into them and analyze them with other people. And it's really cool when you're in IT because you have other people around you that are into the same thing, and sometimes, a lot of times I'd say, they know more than you do about the technical aspects of a certain situation. I love the tech community. I love my subreddits that are centered around programming and cybersecurity, and I just love talking about it. I love to be that guy that goes into the Slack channel and posts the new thing about what happened with Facebook's outage. Where did they go wrong? I love talking about it. And there's always a little bit of psychology that goes into all this stuff, which is something I'm also a fan of, but it doesn't really pay nearly as well. Still a fun thing to talk about. So I love being a part of that, and that is sort of why I love what I do. I love being a part of this community. I love doing the technical aspect. I love talking about the technical aspect. I love people, and I love psychology, and I love meeting new people and learning who they are and why they do what they do, why they are the way they are, and what they think about things, honestly. I love to know what the world around me is like, and I really don't know of a better way to do it than what I'm doing now. If there is one, please tell me, below in the comments. But I hope you guys like this video. I know, I did a lot of videos that were a little bit more negative about IT recently, and there are certainly negative aspects. But the truth is, I am the happiest I think I could be having made the choices I've made to be where I am today. I know that that's a really lucky place to be, and I got a lot of really lucky breaks, a lot of choices that could have been the wrong ones that turned out to be the right ones. And I never want to stop being thankful for that. It's easy when you've been working for a while to lose sight of the good things in your life and in your career. And I don't want to be that person. I want to stay thankful. I want to realize what I've got, and I want to be happy about it. Because if you forget why things are good, then they might seem like they're not, even when they are. So I hope this helps somebody. I hope you guys like this little story or description or whatever you want to call it. Have a good night.